Namo Doi Savaryantam, Namo Doi Savaryantam, Namo Doi Savayriyam, Namo Doi Savajayam, Namo Doi Savatikavati Savanam, Omkar Mindu Sanyam Pranithyam Jayanti Yogina, Kamadam Okshadam Sri Omkarai Namo Namo, Manganam Bhagavan Yo, Manganam Bhutamo, Manganam Kunkundari Yo, Jendra Mosu Manganam Namas Marismada, Swanamurtya Jaka Siti Swadhay Bhavaya
Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Haryantanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Siddhanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Aharyanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Ujjayanam. Om Namo Loe Sarvatrika Varti Savanam. Om Karam Bindu Sanyaktam Nityam Dhayanti Yoginam Kamadam Moksadam Chaiva Om Karaya Namo Namah. Nama Samaysaraya Swanubhutya Chakasate Chitsabhavaya Bhavaya Sarva Bhavantarachide Agnanatimirandanam Jnana Anjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Tirthankaro Jagatana Jayavanta Varto Omkarana Jinano Jayavanta Varto Jinna Samo Sarana Jayavanta Varto Ne Tirthachara Jagama Jayavanta Varto Namo E Tirthanayakane Namo Omkara Nadane Omkara Sangarotene Namo Te Sri Kunda Kundane Aho Upakara Jinavarano Kundano Dvani Divyano Jina Kunda Dvani Yapya Aho Te Guru Kanano Aho Te Bhagavati Matano Dhruva Achalane Anupama Gati Pamela Sarve Siddhane Vandi Kaho Sutta Kevali Basita Asamaya Pravrata Are Om Eka Suddha Sada Arupi Jnana Darshanamay Khare Kai Anyate Maru Jari Paramanu Matra Nati Are Jamane Trate Maj Jnana Nati Karaka Nati Vedak Are Jane Jakara Modaya Nirajara Bandate Maj Mokshane Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Namah Siddhebhyo Om Sri Suddhatmane Namaha. Jai Jinendra. Today is May 3rd, 2017, Wednesday afternoon, and we are doing our Swadhay on Samaysar. Excuse me. Excuse me. We are doing Samaysar Swadhyay on Gatha 11, and as we have said repeatedly, this is a very important Gatha, and I think we are on the really on the tail part of the whole Gatha right now, and we'll be able to hopefully finish it up today, and then we'll be able to go to the next Gatha from next week onwards. So basically what it says in this Gatha is, I'll quickly read the Gatha so that way it gives some background to us also. Vyavaharanaya abhutartha darshita suddhanaya bhutartha che bhutarthane asrita jiva sudrashti nishaya hoya che. As such, it appears to be very, two lines are very simple to understand. Vyavaharnai abhutartha darshit. The conventional point of view is not a right one. And Suddhana is Bhutarth, pure point of view is a right one. And then next line it says, Bhutarthane asrita jiv sudrashti nishay hoyshe. One who takes refuge into the pure point of view, he is the right person. So simple thing, having said that, but then Gurudev took it intense amount of information from these two stanza alone, and he really gave us the exact idea what is a conventional point of view, what's a absolute point of view, and those are the things once I understand, then that's what Gurudev kept on saying. You understand understand, understand. Try to understand the reality, exactly where I'm standing. So he kept on saying that don't worry if you can't do any religious activity. First, you ask question. First, you have the inquisitiveness. First, you have learning desire. Once this desire is there, it's deep rooted, then we understand the hierarchy, where I am in the whole schema of presentation. Where am I standing? What is my situation? Where do I have to go? Once I know that situation and I know my pitfalls, where to be careful not to get unnecessary, get entangled, then it becomes easier for one to go through the maze of this so many information we have it. Actually, if we just know about it, that Aryan Bhagwan, and in our case, we can just take Mahavishwami Bhagwan, when he obtains omniscience and he is also Tirthankar, then number one, he experiences the intense spiritual self. He's experiencing, right now he's experiencing. And then when he's speaking, he's not speaking just for the sake of speaking, but from the internal experience of the self, the information comes out in the form of a Omkar Dvani. Omkar Dvani means it's a unisyllabus, and actually the Omkar Dvani will come out, the divine sound will come out from the all our body parts of the Tirthankar Bhagwan. So he experiences in one smallest part of their experience come out in the divine sound. Out of that smallest part coming out in the form of Omkar Dvani or divine sound, Gandhar Bhagwan, like Gautam Swami and 11 Gandhar, means first disciple of Lord Mahavishwami, they will pick it up. Once they pick it, because they are the recipient, they are ready, they are like a sponge, they absorb these things. So the intense experiencing, only smallest part of that experience comes out in the form of Omkar Dvani. Then Gandhar Bhagwan accepts that one, and then he understands, and then he starts quote unquote creating those scriptures that will be also smallest part of the understanding what he got it. Smallest means 1 over infinity. That's what it says. 1 over infinity is the smallest part. So now Gandhar Bhagwan creates the scripture. Out of the scripture, our understanding is 1 over infinity also. So it is such from Bhagwan's experience all the way to our understanding, it has filtered down, so diluted down so much, and in between there is so many things got inserted and everything, that in this maze it's very easy to get confused and to get lost. And so Kunkun Swami gave this stanza and said, this is the real nature of the conventional point of view. So we just, in the beginning of the stanza, we went through the general way conventional point of view, how it is perceived, that this is my house, this is my body, this kind of thing that we talked about conventional point of view. But Kunkun Swami, whatever he wanted to convey, and what Amrit Chandra Acharya wrote down in the transcript, and Gurudev took the intense bhav from all those things, intense understanding from all those things, and he explained to us that convention point of view only resides in the soul's territory only. This pencil is mine, that is not a conventional point of view. This phone is mine, it's not a conventional point of view. This body is mine, it's not conventional point of view, because they are all matter substances. In the soul substance, in the territory of the soul entering, and then Acharya Bhagwan makes a conventional point of view and tells us what is the absolute point of view. So we understood what's a conventional point of view. And then now, so both the ways Acharya Bhagwan tells in two lines. First line, he talks about conventional point of view. Second one, he talks absolute point of view. And absolute point of view is a pure point of view, means my mode experiencing eternal soul substance. That's an absolute point of view. And that's what the stanza is leading to us. So now we can go to the slides and see how far we are. We were on 103rd stanza, 103rd slide last time. So 103rd. Okay, so we were on this slide last time, so we'll recapitulate quickly. Auspicious, inauspicious modes, pure mode, division of attribute, all are considered as conventional as compared to the absolute form of eternal, indivisible, identical form of soul substance. So here in this bullet, it just tells us exactly what is conventional point of view, what's an absolute point of view. Auspicious inclination, it occurs within me. Inauspicious inclination occurs within me. Pure mode, if I have if Kevali Bhagwan has a Keval Gnan, the omniscience mode, omniscience knowledge mode is also a mode and lasts for one samay only, and it lasts transiently, and that's why it is considered conventional. Now, it's a radical idea that we are telling even omniscience knowledge mode is also considered as a conventional. What does it mean? Because it's transient. So we have to understand from what perspective is being used. Different perspective is used, and we have to be aware of it from what perspective we are talking. If we just simply go out to the street or to the local Jain center and say, hey, Keval Gnan mode is also called Vyavahar, or it's called convention point of view, people will not understand and say, are you losing your mind? So we have to, in our mind, we have to understand what perspective. If we are talking eternal soul substance as absolute point of view, then all this mode, pure mode, impure mode, auspicious mode, inauspicious mode, incomplete mode, all those modes are conventional point of view. So thereafter, division of attributes are also called conventional point of view, because if I'm saying that this is, I have knowledge attribute, I have perception attribute, I have a faith attribute, means I am making division into the indivisible, infinite attribute present in the soul. So even divisional aspect, and same way we said before, if I go in meditative posture right now, I close my eye, I shut myself from all the external environment, and I simply say, I'm the soul, I'm the eternal soul, I'm the perfect soul, I'm the pure soul, I'm the all-knower soul. That's all I think about it. Still, it is considered as a conventional point of view because it's a reflective thoughts. So you mean the meditation, so-called meditation I do is not right? Well, it is part of the process, but it is not absolute, primary, abstract comprehension. Nirvikalpta. Primary abstract comprehension means I get engrossed into my soul substance, and now I have no reflective thoughts, nothing. I just simply enjoy. Simply enjoy the bliss coming from within, the bliss which I never ever experienced before. Now that's the first time I'm experiencing that bliss, and that bliss cannot be compared with any event of the universe right now. So even division of attributes are also called reflective thoughts. They are called vikalp, and that's why they are called conventional point of view. So here I am sitting for 1 hour, 2 hour, several hours a day. I can sit down and just do so-called meditation, and I don't have any other thoughts of the other things at all coming. Still, it is called conventional point of view. If we go to 144 stanza of Samaysar, 141, 142, 143, 144, those four stanza, they just say that any kind of thought process. For example, this is a pencil. Let me 1 second. Hold it. Sorry. Come on. This is my pencil. That's called reflective thought. This is my pencil. It's a reflective thought, which is I am projecting myself to the alien object of the universe. So it's a reflective thought. Now, at the same time, I'm the eternal, pure, perfect soul. That is also called reflective thoughts. So first in 141 to 144 stanza, it says, first you give up all these reflective thoughts of a conventional point of view from the alien object perspective, as well as reflective thoughts about your eternal soul substance also. Reflective thoughts. Vikalp. You give it up. Once you give up the reflective thoughts of an inauspicious type, auspicious type, even for the eternal soul substance, all the reflective thoughts you give it up. And then you enter into the experiencing of the soul, which is called primary abstract comprehension or nirvikalpta. Means absence of any reflective thoughts. Simply I'm enjoying I'm experiencing bliss from within. That is 144 stanza. 144 stanza tells us exactly what is the way you will go. And at that time, if we understand this 11 stanza in a great detail, 144 stanza is a kind of breeze through, pass through. It's really that easy to understand. When we take so much time and hitting the same point again and again, because that's a Gurudev style. Gurudev kept on hitting certain point so microscopically and repeating again and again till it become second nature for us. So first bullet said that absolute form is eternal, indivisible, identical form of soul substance, and everything else in the soul substance is convention point of view. There exists means the pure mode, impure mode, division of the attribute, they are not denied. They are part of the soul. They are part of the soul. That's called praman gnan. Praman gnan means organ of knowledge or complete knowledge. Who is soul substance? Soul substance is a substance which is eternal, and it has all infinite attributes within, and those attributes, they keep on creating one mode at a time, at a given samay, for time infinite in the past, for time infinite in the future. This will remain like that, and that's a whole schema for the whole soul substance. That's a whole soul substance as a complete, total, comprehensive knowledge. Having known the complete, comprehensive, total knowledge of the soul, now what is most important in this soul substance? I have a complete knowledge, but out of complete, what is the aim that I have to aim on it? That is the eternal, indivisible, absolute, identical form of soul substance is the one which is important for me, for my aim. Gnan, Gnan means knowledge. I have to have complete knowledge of who I am. Out of that complete knowledge, what is most important in that area? For example, I'm a thief and I want to just steal something from some house. So I scan the streets, city, area, street, whatever. And then I say, okay, this house appears to be a wealthy house. So I should go and just study that house completely. How is that house laid out? Where is the entry point? Where are the exit point? Where are the weak points? Where are the things that I can go into the house, whatever. Complete knowledge of the house, I get it. Having known the complete house now I just say, but in that house, where is the money? Where is that locker? Where is it hiding in the house? So my aim ultimately is to look into that locker. And that's what I had to do here. For example, somebody is sick in the house, and the spouse tells, my wife tells me to go and get the orange from the market. So I go to the store. So where do I go in the store? Fruit section, I go to the store. Vegetable section, I go to the store. Now, how do I do? I discriminate. I just say, this is apple. No, that's not orange. This is banana. Okay. This is pear. Okay. This is cherries. Okay. Whatever all those things are. But where is the orange? So I know that orange has to be orange color, has to be round, and it should, whatever characteristics of orange, and that's what I wanted. So I got it. I discriminated orange from the rest of the other fruits. So that's a first form of discrimination game. Now I brought the orange at home, and wife says that now the sick child needs to have the orange juice. Sick child doesn't need orange. He needs orange juice. So what she does, she just cuts orange into half and then takes the juice out. And she throws away this peel. She throws away the pulp and everything. And pure juice which is coming out, that's what she is offering to the sick child. So what happened? First, my discrimination was from all other substances of the universe. First, from all the other fruits of the market, I discriminated and just said, what is orange? Once I brought the orange at home, it's not the orange I need, it's juice within that is most important for me. Same way, I discriminated soul from rest of the other substances. But when I enter into the soul substance, what is most important thing that soul has, which I want to have it? Where is the juice? That juice is an eternal soul substance. So I knew the whole soul completely, and now I put my aim to the eternal soul substance, which is residing there. So at that time, the existence of the mode, pure mode, impure mode, auspicious, inauspicious mode, division of the attribute, all those things are part of the soul, but they are part of the total knowledge. I don't need them now. My aim is to be eternal soul substance. So rest of the things are made secondary as compared to absolute form. If one ignores the division completely, now over here, when we discussed that one last time also, the divisions are present, modes are present, and their existence is acknowledged but are made secondary. If we just say they are not there at all, their existence is not there at all, then it becomes Vedanta philosophy, which believes that soul is only eternal, indivisible, identical form, and nothing else like modes and attribute exists within. So if Vedanta is talking for eternal soul substance. It looks like a, yeah, it looks like Samaysar. Yeah, it can be, but they talk about only the eternal soul substance. They are not acknowledging the presence of modes and attribute. While Jainism will say attribute and modes are present, but we are making secondary. So these are the distinction. These are the real crux of the difference between the different philosophies, how those different philosophies differ. I mean, everybody, does Christians say that go and spit on your neighbor? Does the Muslim in reality says that you go and kill your neighbor? No, it's a radical things that way. But the religion, so auspiciousness, everybody teaches. Inauspicious, everybody says don't do it. But the core philosophy, where is the core philosophy lies? And those are the differences one has to understand. And then you decide, one has to decide where is my, which is the best way I want to follow. So having said that, now we can go to the next one. It says conventional form is true from now. Again, having said in the previous slide, conventional form is not true. First bullet over here. Conventional form is not true, and absolute form is true. All these things said, and now Acharya Bhagavan says, but wait. Conventional form is not true compared to eternal soul substance of absolute point of view. But conventional point of view is true from conventional aspect. Let's say we are in the class right now, and I get heart attack right now. Who got it? Did you get it or I got it? I got it. So it discriminates from the other people that I am the one. So conventional point of view is important in a conventional aspect. It is true. Yeah, I have a heart attack occurred, so they are going to take me and my, me means physical body and soul, both to the hospital. So conventional form is true, but at that time, if I have digested the religion properly, I understood everything, then I'll say, yes, physical body is going through heart attack, but I'm the eternal soul substance. Even if body gets separated, quote unquote, death, my soul is not going to be having any difference at all. It will remain existence forever. That kind of understanding I had to have it. And at the time when the doctor is giving treatment, okay, I'll accept those treatment. Now, for example, if I'm climbing the stairs, I want to go to this next story, which is a 14 steps are there in the stairs. Each and every step is important. When I'm on the first step is important for both of my feet. When I put the my right foot on the second step, then first step becomes secondary, and now second step becomes important, and same is a third and fourth and fifth and sixth. Ultimately, when I finish all the 14 steps, then I reach the second story, which is my aim to reach. And so all the remaining 14 steps that I passed through, now they are secondary for me. They were important. 14 gunsthanak are important. Each gunsthanak is important. Each spiritual development state is important. But when I go to the next state, the previous one becomes less important. When I finish the 14th one, all the 14 steps becomes least important for me, because now I have obtained the siddhatva, I have obtained pure liberation. If it is not true in this fashion, if conventional form is not true from conventional aspect, then one does not have to adore omniscient Lord, scripture, and enlightened monk. For example, conventional form, when I have experiencing my true nature of the soul, I have the enlightenment, then when I can't remain within and I cannot remain engrossed within, and I come out. And when I come out, I have the auspicious inclination. And in that auspicious inclination, I have the respect, adoration, and respect and worshipping for omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and enlightened monks. So there's a conventional form, because those entities are separate from me. But I have enlightenment occurred, I experience my soul, but I still have minor irregularities present within me, minor minor uh, um, um, impurities present within me. And because of those minor impurities, I will be expressing myself to the alien objects of the universe. And who are the best alien objects in this universe at that time? Omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and enlightened monks. And so I adore them, I worship them, I respect them, and those are the things happen. So that is called conventional form. So it is present. It's not to be ignored. But compared to absolute form of view, absolute point of view, conventional point of view is made secondary. Same way that a division of the attribute, auspicious inclination, inauspicious inclination, pure inclination, pure mode, omniscient mode, all those things are present, but they are made secondary. Same thing here, omniscient Lord, Scripture, and enlightened monks are made secondary. So why does one is having conventional form of ideas? That why do you need conventional form of ideas at all? If you talk about absolute, then why do you need conventional form of ideas? Then it says that there are three reasons. Number one, most of the living beings are following divisional aspect and thereby conventional point of view since time infinite. The living being, me, I'm the one who is, since time infinite, I just think that body is mine, body is mine, body is mine, and most of the time that's where I believe. So I'm following divisional aspect. I'm for, even if I'm doing meditation at the higher level of a soul's existence in a transmigration, like a human being, and I'm doing so-called meditation, I'm also doing the divisional aspect. I am the eternal soul, I am the all-knower soul, I have the knowledge attribute, I have the perception attribute. So this kind of divisional attribute, a divisional aspect I'm following since time infinite. Next thing, this type of living being often discuss among themselves the conventional point of view only. Remember in a eighth stanza we talked about it, that the discourses cannot be explained with the experience what we are getting. I cannot explain to you the experience I got it. So I have to give the associative thing and then try to give the description. So the medium of explanation is a divisional aspect. Medium of explanation is a conventional form of view. Acharya Bhagwan has an absolute understanding. But Kevali Bhagwan has experienced the eternal soul substance. But when the discourses comes, then discussion occurs from conventional point of view, because only the way language limitation allows one to express in divisional aspect only. So often people amongst each other, they discuss convention point of view. And third one, conventional point of view is also with the absolute point of view, and its nature is also described in the scripture a lot. Conventional point of view is associated with the absolute point of view. Absolute point of view is the experience. Now, let's say that you went out and you went to a party and you end up with the experience, you enjoyed the party absolutely, absolutely. Now, I just say, okay, Ankit or Ketan, describe how did you enjoy the party? What do you mean by it was a great, it was amazing, it was fantastic? How will you explain to me? Then you will do the division and you will just say music was great, atmosphere was great, table arrangement was fantastic, food was served in a nice way, the music was great. So you dissect that whole experience that when you had it there, while you are enjoying that party, while you are enjoying, you are not separating yourself. Oh yeah, there's a music good and the food is good, and no, you are just in toto. You are enjoying the whole atmosphere. And when I'm asking, you have to do the division. So convention point of view means division is associated with the absolute point of view, and its nature is described in a scripture a lot. This is only the way scripture can describe, only from the conventional point of view. The 20th stanza of Apurva's Srimadji, absolutely fantastic, nice, simple language. He explains this point so well. He says, Je pad Sri Sarvagne Dityu Gnanama Kahi Sakya Nai Te Pan Sri Bhagwan Jo तेह स्वरूप ने अन्य वाणी सुख है अनुभव गोचर मात्र रहते ज्ञान जो. In 4 lines he gave extreme importance to this thing. Je pad si sarvagne dichu, the omniscient Lord, whatever he experienced about the eternal soul substance, कही सक्या नहीं ते पण श्री भगवान जो, even the Lord himself is not able to speak exact experience. What did we say? Experience in toto. Then when he is giving from the Omkar Dhvani, it's a 1 over infinity part comes out in that Omkar Dhvani, because language has limitations. ते वाणी ने जे ते स्वरूप ने अन्य वाणी ते सुख है. If Bhagwan is not able to say his total experience, then other language, other kind of a spoken word, how can we explain? Only the way you understand what Tirthankar Bhagwan experienced is you experience the same thing. There was one episode in Gurudev Kanji Swami's life that it comes to my mind, that Himmat Bhai Shah. Himmat Bhai was a Pandit, and he was also expert in Sanskrit, and he was the person, he made all this Sanskrit and Ardhamadhya stanzas into Gujarati, and he made it in the poem form. That was the greatest contribution that Sri Himmat Bhai Ji gave to the Jain community, to make all this stanza in a Gujarati and in a simple language form, poem form. So one time, Gurudev Sri was talking about the eternal soul substance, and he was talking from his heart, basically as if he's talking through his, as if he's experiencing and talking both together. So Himmat Bhai said, Gurudev Sri, when you are talking, it appears you are eating khaja. Khaja is one of the very, very nice dish, very rich dish that you can eat. So it appears that Gurudev, you are speaking as if you are eating khaja from a dabba. So Gurudev said, dabba is open, you can also eat the same thing. Means you can also experience the same thing. So conventional form is a medium of expression, but one has experience, conventional form he explains, then I understand, and I have to experience, then it's called complete Swadhyay. So those are the things. When we understand, and if we don't experience a soul substance, then it's not, it is meaningless. Why we are putting time after time after time for last few years? Why? Because I want to understand and then go further and to do the experiencing. So that's what it says over here. Now, for an enlightened soul, what happens? For an enlightened soul, one who has enlightenment has realized his soul, he still has some milder form of impurities present. Now, here, what does minor form of impurity is present? Here we have to understand a little bit about the karma theory. And in the karma theory, especially we have to understand about deluded karma. Deluded karma is a Mohaniya karma. Mohaniya karma has 28 separate divisions are there. And I don't want to bring the slide in. But anyway, so Mohaniya karma is an intense karma. And once we remove the Mohaniya karma, means once I remove my deluded state completely, then I come to the absolute enlightenment. Absolute enlightenment means I can come to the total passionless state. The deluded state is considered as a toxic emotion. Toxic emotions means I have a anger, deceit, ego, greed. Anger, deceit, ego, and greed. They are divided into 4 different forms depending on their intensity. On the first spiritual development stage, anger, deceit, ego, greed are in an intense form. Intense form means they end up making karma bondage to my soul, which lasts for at least extremely long time. 70 Kroda Krodi Sagrupam years. Now, we don't want to go in that all extremely long time. So, though the intense, my toxic emotions in an intense form ends up giving me transmigration for longest possible time. That's a first spiritual development stage. Now, when I break, yes.
What is the difference between a half Pudgal Paravartan and 2 Pudgal Paravartans?
Okay. Half Pudgal Paravartan means there is a, number one, we have to understand about the timing, time cycle. That Jainism is a very famous, I mean, very intricately described time in a microscopic form and time in a macroscopic form. And we have to understand that one. And these are the words will come in our discussions.
Well, I think you once explained that one saga is 10 to the 33rd. And
Yeah.
one Korakori is like a tremendous amount of sagas.
Yeah.
So I guess what I want to know is one or a half Pudgal Paravartan is how many Korakori saga books?
Okay, that's what I'm coming to. Number one, first we just said Sagropam. Let's set Sagropam alone. And we won't go into extreme detail because we are gone. Sagropam means extreme long time. Now, Kroda Krodi Sagropam. Kroda Krodi means 10 raised to 14 Sagropam. 10 raised to 10 raised to 9 is billion, and 10 raised to 12 is trillion, and this is 14, 10 raised to 14. That many Sagropam years makes one Kroda Krodi Sagropam. And out of those 20 Kroda Krodi Sagropam years, and then you have a one time cycle completely. Ascending time cycle and descending time cycle. So there are 10 Kroda Krodi Sagropam in each ascending and descending time cycle, and each ascending / descending time cycle, 24 Tirthankars are born. So we are in the descending time cycle of the time cycle area. Now, the Pudgal Paravartan means what? Means there are infinite molecules are present in this universe. And let's presume that I take right now, I have accepted so many particles to make me as a human being. So many particles, particle means atomic particles. It's not the hand or hair or shoulder or anything. It is the atomic particle, like this finger probably has an infinite atomic particles making this finger, for example. So whatever atomic particles I have it right now, and the universe is full of infinite times infinite atomic particles. From here, I will be gone to the infernal life or heavenly life or subhuman life or whatever continues, my transmigration continues, and ultimately maybe this soul will go to moksha, whatever. But right now, as long as I'm transmigratory soul, and these are the atomic particle that I accepted. From here, I went to whatever other life, and then 1 sense life, 2 sense life, 3 sense life, 4 sense life, and I also end up going to, for example, to the lowest form of life where I stayed for infinite time and everything. All those things, when it's happening, next time, when exactly same particles get together and makes this kind of body again, that is called one Pudgal Paravartan. Remember how difficult it is to have exact same particles come to me. It is appears to be absolutely impossibility, because if I'm in the lowest form of life where I can stay for longest possible time, I don't have those particles. 1 sense, no. 2 sense, no. So ultimately, when I become
so is it like, so here's my question, and here, I'm going to get to the gist of why I asked this question. I read that. Okay, so I read that you know, suppose you and I miss the boat in this cycle,
yeah.
Or let's say I missed the boat in this cycle and I have to go back to Nigod. I forget. I think it's a very short period.
2.5 Pudgal Paravartan you are in
Yeah, right. So I'll be in Nigod for 2.5. So I wanted to understand, what is 2.5 versus the half? Because I know that if I get some meditation tomorrow,
yes,
it's 1/2 Pudgal Paravartan. Now I'm sure it's not 5x. It's probably exponential, right?
Yeah, no. So that means what happens basically, that if oneself and end up experiencing the soul right now, let's presume that we all are sitting in this class and we did experience the soul right now at this point, for example, then according to Gurudev Sri and according to scripture and everything, 1, 3, 5 or 15 life and you are getting the liberation. And if that does not happen, then maximum by half Pudgal Paravartan, that soul will definitely end up getting into the liberation for sure. Now remember, as if now I'm in a Mithyatva state, and if I did not experience my soul, means I did not get enlightenment even for a fraction of a second, that means I can ultimately end up going to Nigod, which I can stay for 2.5 Pudgal Paravartan and so long possible time. But if I experience the maximum it may possible, is slowest possible space that I'll be able to achieve the liberation will be only half Pudgal Paravartan. Usually, remember, how did I come to experiencing the soul to start with? Because I understand what is reality. Who am I?
But Kirit, my question specifically, and forgive me, I'm just trying to get an answer to my question.
Yes.
2.5 in Nigod,
yeah,
versus a half once the clock is started.
Yeah.
That's not just 5 times, right? So 2.5 is not 5 times a half.
Yeah.
We're talking exponential, right?
Probably, you know, it is the see, it is the human mind, it is impossible to grasp that vastness of the time. So whether it's the half is 5 times, two and a half is 5 times half, well, I'm not interested in that part, in the sense I'm not planning to go there. Even I'm not going to wait for half Pudgal Paravartan to get the liberation. Once I understood, once I experienced the soul, how did I experience the soul? Because I understood it right form. And I understood, I experienced a bliss which has never been experienced before. Now I'm going to experience that bliss again and again and again. So my intense effort starts, and within 1, 3, 5, 15 life, I'm gone. That's it. I'm gone, in the sense I have liberation. So 2.5 is the latest that somebody can really go at a slower pace. But at least he now has definitely going to get liberation. Now, when we say half Pudgal Paravartan and 2.5 and everything, it appears to be so long time. But remember how many Pudgal Paravartan this soul has done till today. Infinite. If I have done infinite Pudgal Paravartan, and now I have only half remaining, gosh, I have a rejoicing thing occurring to me. And that's a maximum time. 1, 3, 5, 15, usually 1 to 1 or 3 or 5, maximum it can go up to 15. So now your question is 2.5 and 5, 2.5 and a half, are they related? Well, I guess they are, but I don't have to worry about that part, because if I'm experiencing today half Pudgal Paravartan, I'm going to get liberation. That's it. Out of infinite Pudgal Paravartan I created, I passed through so far, you know. So that means you are on the Pacific Ocean, and now you're only 10 feet away from completion of your swimming. You started from one end of the ocean, you came to the other end of the ocean. So now what difference does it make? Is a 1, 3, 5, 15 lakh or half Pudgal Paravartan? You are almost there to the edge right now, right? But still, I'm not giving you the answer, because I don't have answer whether it's exponential or whether it's 5 times. You know?
Thank you.
Okay. So one is enlightenment has realized soul. He still has some milder form of impurity. So that means we are talking about deluding karma, or my deluding state, that I have an intense toxic emotions, or less intense, slightly less, and extreme milder form of toxic emotion. The 4 stages are being created. And so when I keep on going from the experiencing stage, I mean 4th spiritual development stage, to 5th, to 6th, to 7, 8, 9, 10 and everything, that means progressively as my spirituality increases, my toxic emotion intensity starts decreasing. So what it says in first bullet, it still has some milder form of impurity, means toxic emotion, some milder form still present. That means there is still some milder form of intense of attachment, means rag state present. Let's presume that we have the Samyak Darshan. We still have some anger can occur, emotion can occur, the possessions can occur, all those things occur, milder form. Bharat Maharaja had a Kshaik Samyaktva. He still has a milder form of a rag present. So when he goes to war, he does get involved with the war. When he is with his wives, he is involved with the wives. When he is involved with his tremendous amount of luxury that he has, he is still involved with that luxuries and everything. So milder form of passion suppression, toxic emotion suppression. But he says, it is not my cup of tea. It's my weakness that I'm getting into it, but I should not do that. So that milder form of influence of attachment present. He has inclination towards he also at that time, what are these rag? This rag is mainly to the Dev, Shastra and Guru, omniscient Lord, spiritual scripture, and enlightened monks. So he has a devotion towards the Dev Shastra Guru. He also observes the 5 great vows if he's in a monk state, or if he's observing 12 householder vows if he's on a 5th spiritual development stage. So these are the milder inclinations are present to him. Milder inclination means he still has external attachment to the vows and also to Dev Shastra Guru and everything. But those inclinations end up with a transmigration only. Means those inclinations that he has it, milder form of inclination that he has it, it will give karma bondage to him, and those karma will come in fruition in the future life also. So even once he has Samyak Darshan, after Samyak Darshan, till he obtains Keval Gnan, he has milder form of emotions, milder form of toxic emotions, and as a result, he will end up with a karma bondage, and as a result, he'll end up some transmigration. That's what we said, 1, 3, 5, or 15, or maybe half Pudgal Paravartan, that he will be transmigrating. Whatever the refuge he takes in this eternal true nature of the soul, see, he is at the time, he is, number 1, I am in the wrong fate state, means I have intense toxic emotions present within me, and so I end up with the intense karma bondage here on one extreme. Second extreme, there is an omniscient Lord. He has no toxic emotions at all. He has 0 emotions, so he has no karma bondage at all. Keep aside the aghati karma, but ghati karma is not there. So he has 0. At one point, there is complete karma bondage. Other point, there is there is none at all. And in between, the aspirant soul going from 4th spiritual stage to 13th spiritual stage, he does bind karma. So whatever, he has 2 phases. He is experiencing phase, and he has a auspicious phase. Auspicious means he is coming out of the experiencing phase, so he is on the inclination phase, in which he has an auspicious, inauspicious inclination. So auspicious, inauspicious inclination, he is going to bind the karma, which will give some transmigration for 1, 3, 5, 15 life. And those 1, 3, 5, 15 life are human life. Human life that we have to understand. So whenever he is in the toxic emotion phase, milder form of toxic emotion phase, then he binds the karma, and as a result, he gets into transmigration. Of course, it's a higher form of transmigration he'll be getting it. Once one is getting the Samyak Darshan, then he has only basically 2 types of life in front of him, either human life or celestial life. Only 2 life he will keep on going. Gurudev Sri Kanji Swami, he had a Samyak Darshan, he had enlightenment in this life, so now he is in the heavenly life. Next life will be, he'll be son of Tirthankar Bhagwan, and at that time he will bind the Tirthankar Nam Karma. He will go to celestial life again, and last life he'll be born as a Tirthankar. So ultimately, you just after Samyak Darshan, life keeps on going between heavenly life and human life, and each time human life intense intensity of the self-effort keeps on occurring, and he keeps on progressing further. When one obtains pure indeterminate sensation, means nirvikalpta, now then it's called pure point of view. Again, we are coming back to the pure point of view. What is pure point of view? Is experiencing the innate state, experiencing the innate state and experiencing the bliss within. That is the innate state, and that's called pure point of view. Having said that,
Kirit, just a question here. Nirvikalpa, you translated as pure undetermined sensation.
yes.
Why didn't you translate that as pure thoughtless, thoughtless
state.
State.
Yeah.
Nirvikalp, I thought, means thoughtless.
Yes. Now remember, yes, that was one time that a question came to my mind, and I think you are reading my mind that way, I guess. But when you say thoughtlessness, now what is the function of the knowledge? Knowledge, Gnan, is always with vikalp. I mean, vikalp in the sense, vikalp has two types of explanations are there for vikalp. One vikalp means me and you in this state when we think about this is a pencil. I'm thinking about pencil. This is a mouse. I'm thinking about a mouse. That thinking process is associated with a conduct, the altered state of conduct attribute. Means it is associated with the rag. And that's why it's called vikalp. Second state of vikalp is also called in which when I am experiencing myself, when I'm in the experiencing phase, and at that time, my knowledge is also doing knowing through divisional aspect and knowing through non-divisional aspect, and divisional aspect thinking about quote unquote knowing or thinking at the time is called vikalp also in the experiencing phase. So to take the so-called thoughtlessness word out, it's a pure undetermined sensation, means everything is pure, number one, and it's a sensation, it's not thought. So when you say thoughtlessness, sometimes somebody will say, oh, that means no thoughts at all. No, he has a thoughts present, quote unquote thoughts present, because it's called vikalp at the time. Nirvikalp and vikalp, that is time. So this is the reason that I use this term rather than thoughtlessness. Actually, in a very beginning time, in a 25 years back or so, I used the word thoughtlessness, and I was being corrected by one of the actually Praveen Doshi, Dr. Praveen Doshi. He says, Kirit, this gives a wrong impression to the reader, because he will say thoughtlessness means jad. The pudgal, the matter has no thoughts, so it gives a wrong meaning. The conveyance of the meaning is wrong.
So let me repeat what you're saying. Vikalp can happen in two types of vikalp. When we have vikalp associated with rag.
That's called vikalp.
No, always vikalp is associated with rag, no?
Yeah, in a non-experiencing phase.
The experiencing phase, by that, do you mean after fourth gunastanak?
Yes, while I'm experiencing for transiently in fourth spiritual state, or fifth, I'm experiencing, and seventh, I keep on experiencing a lot more, and at 13, I experience forever, and 14th, I have to see the Bhagwan. Yes.
So you just said that in experiencing phase, you can have vikalp?
That's called savikalp dasha also. It's called savikalp dasha also, yes, because that vikalp means to know with division and to know as a whole, in toto, means all the attributes are infinite attributes present. So he knows those infinite attributes, but he also knows all these infinite attributes are existing in a unity with the soul substance. So
okay, wait, Kirit uncle, in Nirvikalp Dasa, right? We know Abhed Roop thi janai che. Is that true?
Yeah, but see, now that Abhed has to be divided into two parts. One from the faith perspective and one from the knowledge perspective. Knowledge attribute perspective and faith attribute perspective. Faith has seen, experienced a soul in toto, in Abhed only, indivisible only. But the knowledge, because knowledge, the knowledge mode's business is to know with division and without division. Actually, if you just go in detail about it, then Gnan and Darshan, the perception attribute and knowledge attribute. Perception attribute knows in general, and knowledge attribute knows with divisions. So knowledge attribute with the knowledge mode at the time of experiencing phase of the soul will also be knowing the infinite attribute in their infinite way also. So knowledge ભેદા ભેદથી જાણે છે, જ્ઞાન ભેદા ભેદથી જાણે છે, ભેદથી પણ જાણે છે, અભેદથી પણ જાણે છે, and that is in the experiencing phase. So when we say pure undetermined sensation, it is basically we are talking nirvikalpa from faith.
Abhed bhav.
Abhed, yeah.
Abhed bhav nirvikalp dasa.
Yes, yes. And so these are the. That's why we said that.
So you're saying in nirvikalp dasa, Gnan Gun is still operating in a bhed way. Gnan Gun always operates in a bhed way. That's what you're saying.
Bhed and abhed, both. Bheda bhed.
Both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
So Siddha Bhagwan also has his Gnan Gun can be either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his Gnan Gun will, his Gnan Paryay will know. Remember, Siddha Bhagwan's mode is doing Swapar Prakashak, right? Let's take Par Prakashak. Par Prakashak means he knows the whole universe in toto, plus he knows each and every mode's past, present, future of every substances in a different way also.
In order for him to see the individual mode, he has to be in Abhed Upyog of Gnan, right? જ્ઞાન નો અભેદ ઉપયોગ થી જ ઈ ઇન્ડિવિડ્યુઅલ પર્યાય જોઈ શકે ને.
No, જ્ઞાન ના ભેદ પર્યાય થી, ભેદા ભેદ છે ને, ભેદ ને
ભેદ પર્યાય થી, બરાબર. Okay.
Same way, now when he is also experiencing self, then the knowledge mode says, okay, soul is a indivisible substance, but attributes are infinite in a divisional way, but they also remain indivisible with the soul substance. So at that time, the Siddha Bhagwan knows the self as a Bheda Bhed also. Make sense?
બરાબર.
Okay, all right. Yeah, but that's a very subtle point. And again, see, these are the things in scripture. It will just say Gnan knows by Bheda Bhed. Now, what does it mean? So now it just tells me that okay, word vikalp has a limited vocabulary, and which word is what, which word is used in what perspective, that I have to know that part, And these are the question comes a lot to lots of people. Why you are nirvikalpta and vikalpta? Nirvikalpta ની અંદર પણ વિકલ્પ દશા ક્યાંથી આવી? તો કે
what I understand you saying, you can have you can see Gnan Gun and Gnan attribute you can use in Bhed form and Abhed form freely once you have Shraddha Gun is correct. No, maybe even much later. But right now, we only see Gnan Gun. We're only be able to use its Bhed form.
Yes.
Right now, we don't have the full use of our Gnan Gun in Abhed form. But even when you get that, you can choose between seeing things as Abhed or Abhed.
It's not question of choose, it's happening. It's happening at the time. For example, when you are drinking a cold beverage, then you are experiencing everything in total, that is cold, it's sweet, it's a salty taste, it's a sour taste, and saffron taste is there, and all those things you are seeing. You are experiencing that way separately. At the same time, you are also experiencing on the Abhed perspective also. So those things are happening at the same time. Soul doesn't have to just say, okay, let's know this one by Abhed. No, let's know it by Bhed. It just both the things are happening together. Bheda Bhed things happening together. Same thing is happening to us also right now, but our knowledge it has not blossomed up completely. So I'm not able to understand Abed as much right now because of limitation of my knowledge right now. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we can go to the next slide. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So problem of wrong faith person. What are his problem? We just said those things. Living being has not considered pure point of view. Means we have not considered pure point of view. He has not heard the discourses of pure point of view also, because scripture also mentioned about pure point of view at very few places, because it is so ingrained and so microscopic philosophy. For that one has to build up so much base and everything, and average person doesn't have time for all those things. So he just does not understand pure point of view. And so whatever simple things have been told to him, okay, do this, do this, do this, do this, do that, do this kind of activities and all the thing, and don't do bad thing and everything, serve the community and everything, that appears to be very encouragement to me and everything. So I keep on doing that, and I get fulfillment from there, and I do not progress further, and as a result I keep on going in transmigration. Acharya Kunkun, Acharya Amritcharya Dev, and Gurudev Sri, etc., all the saints have given discourses as follow. Now, they have given the discourses to us. They said that they give discourses of pure point of view. They said, okay, listen to guys. I mean, the auspiciousness, not only, it is not the full stop. It is just a comma in your further journey. So pure point of view is most important. And that pure point of view is only the pathway to the liberation. Along with that pure point of view, associated rag, inclination of attachment, etc. state are there on the pathway, but they are the reason for bondage. Every inclination of attachment after Samyak Darshan that I have it, that will acquire karma bondage to me, and that will give bondage, that will give transmigration. Even though the transmigration is 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 15 life, or the Pudgal Paravartan, but still it will give me transmigration. Aspirant soul is on the pathway to liberation due to pure point of view. Aspirant soul has both the things. He is experiencing, and when he's not experiencing, he's on the auspiciousness. Whatever auspiciousness he's on, that means that means karma bondage, that means transmigration. Whatever whatever the experiencing phase he has it, whatever the pure point of view he is engrossed in it, that is a pathway to the liberation. So, aspirant soul is on the pathway to liberation due to pure point of view. And in that aspirant soul, associative auspicious inclination are pathway to bondage. So he has if he's on this side.
Critical?
Yes.
A quick question.
Yeah.
Okay, so I understand that, or at least my understanding is that Muniraj, when they're experiencing, are up at 7.
Yes.
Or 9, 10, whatever.
Let's take it 7. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when they're not experiencing, then they're at 6.
Yes.
So when they're at 6, are they in Shubhal?
What is it? Yeah,
are they in Shubhal?
They are almost on the Shubhal. They can also be in the Ashubhal also. They can be in the Ashubhal also. But mainly, majority, and these are the monks, these are the 6th and 7th Gunsthana. So when he's coming on a 6th Gunsthana, Kunkun Swami comes to the 6th Gunsthana from 7th, then his auspicious inclination will say, you know what, I have so many disciples following me, and they have question, maybe let me help them out. If they have question, let me help them out. Or let me write the scripture. Talking to the disciple or writing scripture, etc., means he wants to stay away from inauspicious inclination. Or when he was not able to remain in 7th Gunsthanak in his engrossment, when he comes out on the 6th, because the stomach is bothering him and says, I want to have food, I want to have food. And that kind of things are happening. So he says, okay, let me go and get some food and let me finish this hunger pain that I have it, which makes me inauspicious inclination. So let me get rid of that thing. So he will do that one also. So either he will do auspicious, most of the time auspicious, occasionally very minor inauspicious thing will be there, but that will be giving a karma bondage to them. And that's why, where is Kunkun Swami? He is in the heaven. Next life he will come back, and then from his personal effort, he will go to the 13th Gunsthanak and then gets liberation. So till aspirant soul reaches perfect stage of devoid of all toxic emotion, he still has associative, auspicious / inauspicious inclination occurs to him. That's the answer to your question there, So those things do occur, but that will give the karma bondage to them. Now, eternal soul substance. For transmigratory self, it resides in physical body. This soul is residing in this physical body. But this eternal soul substance is eternal, means dhruv. It has a sameness, means sadrasya. Sadrasya means what? Means, for example, let's see that I end up seeing Ankit yesterday. And I see him today. I saw him 6 months back, and I see him today. I said, oh gosh, you look exactly the same. You have not changed. So you are exactly same. Weight-wise, behavior, everything is same. So it's called sadrasya. So here, eternal soul suffering is same all the time. Same. Nothing has changed in that one. Indivisible means all the attributes are indivisible way into the soul substance. It's a indiscriminate. Indiscriminate means samanya. Samanya means in contrast to discriminate, which is called vishesh. Vishesh means when I make division into the soul substance, that there are several attributes are present in the soul substance, and I describe from the faith perspective, knowledge perspective, perception perspective, conduct perspective. That's called divisional aspect. But when I'm talking to them in an indivisible way, then it's called indiscriminate, or it's called samanya. So eternal soul substance is called samanya.
Kirit uncle, what is the difference between abhed and samanya? Abhed is indivisible.
Yeah.
So dravya gun paryaya are taken as one.
Yes.
But samanya ekla?
Samanya, it is again, see, all these words will have the same meaning. For example, eternal means what does it eternal means? It's permanent, forever. Sameness means what? It's an eternal, same. Indivisible means it is compared to the division of the attribute, it is indivisible. Samanya means instead of vishesh, now it's called samanya. Now vishesh means the modes are also called vishesh, the attributes are called vishesh, and to separate from that vishesh, it is called samanya, means it is a eternal, indivisible thing. So basically saying different terminology are used, It is a complete nature, devoid of any transient mode, means eternal soul substance has a transient mode present, but it is made secondary, and therefore all these things are called actual eternal thing, means bhutarth. This is a word bhutarth in this stanza. What does bhutarth means? It means several different ways we are describing eternal, indivisible soul substance. Now, bhutarth means modes are made secondary. Even though they are present, they are made secondary. Therefore, modes are considered untrue even though present. If the bhutarth means true, perfect, that means modes are considered untrue even though they are present. their presence is not denied, but they are considered secondary or untrue because we are talking about eternal soul substance. Taking refuge in this bhutarth means eternal indivisible soul substance, one obtains enlightenment. Therefore, one must give up conventional form and aim at an absolute form to obtain enlightenment. Do I want enlightenment? That's what I'm striving for. So then I have to understand modes, attributes, soul substance, everything, and then I just have to concentrate on the eternal soul substance, make everything secondary. That's only the way to obtain enlightenment. And I think this is the last slide. No, there's one more. Okay. Oh, this is the last slide. This is Vinay. Now, there is a Gurudev has touched one aspect of Vinay. Vinay means respect. We talked about respect a lot and everything. So Vinay is a root for religiousness. One has to have Vinay. Vinay means respect. Respect to what? What does the respect? How do we define respect? First thing Gurudev says, Vinay dharmanu moolche. Vinay is a root for religiousness. Can be defined in two ways. One, when one has self-experience of the eternal self, then he respects Dev Shastra Guru, omniscient Lord, Holy Scripture, and enlightened monk. He respects them. Why he respects them? Because remember, when I'm getting experiencing of my soul substance, then Dev Shastra Guru in some form are present as an instrumental cause. So I just show my respect to them, knowing that they are instrumental cause, but still I give respect to them. I'm the fish swimming in the water. I'm swimming because of my own capacity to swim, but I give respect to the water because you gave me the instrumental cause for me to swim. So fish will show the respect to the water. Same way, this enlightened soul who has experienced the eternal soul substance, he will show the respect to Dev Shastra Guru. And that's a conventional form of Vinay. Conventional form means the omniscient Lord is separate, Holy Scripture is separate, enlightened monk is separate. They are separate from me. They are not in my territory. They are away from me. So that's a conventional form. But eternal true nature of the self, where is my bullet here? Okay. Eternal true nature of the self is full of bliss. Eternal true nature of the self, when I'm experiencing the soul substance, that means I'm experiencing bliss. It's called supersensuous bliss. So my eternal soul is full of supersensuous bliss. When one has a conviction of this state, that I'm the eternal soul substance and I'm full of supersensuous bliss, when I have conviction for this state, then he has respect towards the eternal true nature of the self, because my bliss will come from within me only. So now I show the respect to my eternal soul substance, and that's a Vinay from absolute perspective. And last bullet, it says, soul is full of bliss when one believes that it is incomplete. And that's why I try to look for happiness from alien objects of the world. And I just don't believe that I'm full of a bliss within. And I don't believe that it's complete bliss is present there. Then I'm showing the disrespect to the eternal soul substance. And that's a small chapter that Gurudev Sri added at the end of this 11th stanza about Vinay also. So he, again, in a Vinay also, he respects the Dev Shastra Guru, but at the same time says that it's a conventional form of view. That doesn't mean that we have to neglect them. If their presence is accepted, their presence is acknowledged. So this is the way our 11th stanza ends over here. Basically, so far, if we have to say nutshell, that a conventional point of view is wrong and absolute point of view is right, and what is conventional point of view, it's been divided into 4 parts, and all those things we understood that part, and so ultimately for understanding myself, I had to think about my eternal soul substance. So Gurudev gave in-depth knowledge for us, went through so many different points of view to explain to us, to have our idea becomes clearer. Once our idea becomes clearer and repetition is there, with those repetitions and ideas coming better and better in my mind, so now I have a pretty good idea which direction I'm moving, what I'm expecting, what to do, and this is only the life I can do it. Only the life in the sense, okay, Devgati you can get it, Narak also you can get Samyak Darshan, and Tiryans also you can get Samyak Darshan. But the easiest way to get Samyak Darshan is human life, and that's what is important. So those are the things that we finish, and now we'll start, next time we'll be starting, next week we'll start the 12th stanza. These are the 6th stanza, 7th stanza, and this 11th stanza are becoming the basis. And as I said, now if you open the chapter of 141, 142, 143, 144, exactly same thing will come, basically, more or less,
So Kirit uncle, can I ask 2 questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, this last line is very beautiful. I want to know what the word that Kunkun Swami used for disrespect is, and also the word that he used when one believes that the soul is incomplete. What word from the Sastra was used to define incomplete and disrespect, if you remember?
Gurudev Sri wrote down this word. These are the Gurudev's words are there. These are not Kunkun Swami's words, but Gurudev analyzed, and he just said, actually somebody gave the question to that. Somebody asked question to Gurudev, and so in that one, he gives the answer that actually I can read that question to you if you are just one. It will take one extra minute for us.
Yes, please.
શ્રોતા કે છે વિનય તો ધર્મનું મૂળ છે ને એમ કીધું છે ને તો એ વિનય કયો? This was the one of the listener asked the question to Gurudev in this lecture that listen, the Vinay is dharmanu મૂળ છે, the Vinay કયો? So then Gurudev gives the answer that this is called Vinay,
So is that a long answer? Can you read it?
Okay. શ્રોતા વિનય તો ધર્મનું મૂળ છે એમ કીધું છે ને એ વિનય કયો? એ સ્વભાવના ભાન સહિતનો સાચા દેવ શાસ્ત્ર ગુરુનો વિનય એ વ્યવહારે ઊંચો કહેવાય છે. વ્યવહારે ઊંચો કહેવાય છે. નિશ્ચયથી તો સ્વનો વિનય છે. પૂર્ણ આનંદ નાથનો વિનય તો ત્યારે જ કહેવાય કે પૂર્ણ આનંદ સ્વરૂપ છે એવી તેને પ્રતીતિમાં સ્વીકાર આવે ત્યારે તેને આત્માનો વિનય કર્યો એમ કહેવાય, અને પૂર્ણ છે તેને અપૂર્ણ અને રાગવાળો માને. પૂર્ણ છે એને અપૂર્ણ અને રાગવાળો માને. અહાહા, ત્યાં સુધી તેને આત્માનો અવિનય અને અનાદર અને અસાતા કરી છે. આવી વાત છે પ્રભુ, માર્ગ શું થાય ભાઈ? That's what one paragraph he says,
So he's saying that you cannot talk about purnata until you experience it. And
well, actually, once you believe that one to start with, your conviction to occur. First, our conviction has to be there that, okay, this is what my true nature is there. That conviction ultimately ends up with the experience. And once that experience is there, that conviction is solidified and that remains till you get liberation.
He said, Kirangal, you said soul's asata. So I'm guessing that soul's asata is mithya gyan, mithya darshan, and mithya charita, correct?
Let's see. અપૂર્ણ અને રાગ વાળો માને. આત્માને અપૂર્ણ અને રાગ વાળો માને કે ભાઈ આત્મામાં રાગ થાય છે, હું તો અપૂર્ણ છું, મારામાં ક્યાં કેપેસિટી છે, how will I be able to do all this thing? This is so difficult. So those are the things. Then he says you have disrespect to the.
So apurna means without ananta gnan, ananta darshan, ananta sukh, and ananta virya.
Yeah.
And Kirtan, when you said savikalp dasa, I just want to define that again. Savikalp dasa is when you are having vikalp in the experiencing phase. Is that right?
Yes, That is also
Okay.
one vikalp, and that is other vikalp is with the rag, which is when we are in a diluted form.
Yeah, so Savikalp is a more advanced spiritually in the sense that you are undergoing experience at the time.
Yeah, and તે કહે આત્માનું જ્ઞાન ભેદાભેદથી જાણવું, એ ભેદાભેદથી જ્ઞાન જાણે એને સવિકલ્પ કહ્યું, અને તે જ વખતે આત્માની અનુભૂતિ જે થઈ રહી છે શ્રદ્ધા ગુણથી થઈ છે તો એને નિર્વિકલ્પતા પણ કહ્યું. એટલે સવિકલ્પતા અને નિર્વિકલ્પતા બંને ભેગા છે તે વખતે અનુભૂતિ વખતે પણ કયું સવિકલ્પ? તો કે એમાં રાગ નથી, એમાં ખાલી ભેદાભેદ જ છે એકલું એમ. એટલે ભેદાભેદથી પણ વિકલ્પ કયો અને રાગ સહિતનો પણ વિકલ્પ કયો, એટલે કઈ જગ્યાએ કયું વસ્તુ છે એનું I think we have to understand that part very carefully, you know.
અને the જ્ઞાનની ભેદાભેદ જે રહે છે એ સવિકલ્પ દશા એ તો છે સિદ્ધ ભગવાનને બી હોય છે.
There forever, because that's a nature of knowledge.
બરાબર.
જ્ઞાનનો સ્વભાવ જ છે, સવિકલ્પતા એ તો જ્ઞાનનો સ્વભાવ છે.
Yes, thank you.
Very good. It took longer time for us to finish this stanza, but at least we have pretty good idea on all the things. And,
Uncle, can we started this I think September of last year. Do you think we can finish the next slok in less than 7 months?
Well, now I think the next slok is not going to go that long now, I think, because, these are the things that Gurudev loved. So there are certain stanzas that he loved by heart, like 6, 7 stanza, 11 stanza, 13 stanza, 38 stanza, 72, 73 stanza, and 320 stanza, and 144 stanza. These are the one he has given extreme amount of weight on it. And rest are there in which it will just go smooth as our knowledge is solidified, our information is getting leveled up, then it will move faster, Okay? All right, so we can do the closing now. Javani ke gyan se suje lokalok, Sovani mastaka namo sada deta hu dak. 9 times Namoka mantra. Jai Jandra, Michay Dukram, thank you.
Jai Jinendra, Michami.
Jai Guru.